Insurgency and counterinsurgency, or COIN, are complex subsets of warfare included within a broad category of conflicts known as irregular warfare. The history of COIN shows how, before World War I, insurgencies were mostly conservative. Insurgents were usually concerned with defending hearth home. Since World War I, insurgencies have generally had more revolutionary purposes. The modern era of insurgencies and internal wars began after World War II. Many new insurgencies appeared after the collapse of the Soviet Union. These new information technology is one new aspect of a contemporary wave of insurgencies. Each insurgency is unique, although there are often similarities among them. A cause is a principle or movement militantly defended or supported. Insurgent leaders seek to adopt attractive and persuasive causes to mobilize support. Though insurgencies take many forms, most share common attributes. An insurgent organization normally consists of the 5 elements shown. The proportion of each element relative to the larger movement depends on the strategic approach the insurgency adopts. A conspiratorial approach does not pay much attention to combatants or a mass base. Networked organizations are difficult to destroy. In addition, they tend to heal, adapt, and learn rapidly. Aspects of counterinsurgency. Offensive and defensive operations are integral to COIN. COIN differs from peacekeeping operations in this regard. COIN operations are complicated. Following the principles shown here does not guarantee success, but it will legitimate governments have the authority to regulate social relationships, extract resources, and take actions in the public's name. Unity of effort must be present at every echelon of a COIN operation. Political factors have primacy in COIN. At the beginning of a COIN operation, military actions may appear predominant, but in most COIN operations in which U.S. forces participate, insurgents hold a distinct advantage in their level of local knowledge. Effective COIN operations are shaped by timely, specific, and reliable intelligence. It is easier to separate an insurgency from its resources and let it die than to kill every insurgent. The cornerstone of any COIN effort is establishing security for the civilian populace. Insurgencies are protracted by nature, thus, COIN operations always demand considerable expenditures of time and resources. U.S. forces start with a built-in challenge because of their reputation for accomplishment. Effective counterinsurgents understand local norms. They use locally tailored approaches to control expectations. Any use of force generates a series of reactions. There may be times when an overwhelming effort is necessary. An effective counterinsurgent force is a learning organization. Leaders must develop an effective system to circulate. Mission command is ideally suited to the mosaic nature of COIN operations. Local commanders have the best grasp of their situations. While it may be easier for U.S. military units to conduct operations themselves, it is better to work to strengthen local forces and institutions and then assist them. These paradoxes are offered to stimulate thinking. The applicability of the thoughts behind the paradoxes depends on a sense of the local situation and, in particular, the state of the insurgency. Executing counterinsurgency operations. The focus of COIN operations generally progresses through 3 stages. COIN operations are initially similar to emergency first aid for the patient. The middle stage is characterized by efforts aimed at assisting the patient through long-term recovery. Stage 3 is characterized by the expansion of stability operations by the military efforts are necessary and important to COIN efforts, but they are only effective when integrated into a effective COIN leaders understand the interdependent relationship of all participants, military and civilian. An essential COIN task for military forces is fighting insurgents. However, military efforts are necessary and important to COIN efforts, but they are likely participants in COIN operations include the military and non-military organizations. U.S. military forces are designed primarily for conventional warfare. but are vastly capable to conduct successful coin operations when directed. Marines participating in coin operations will normally function as part of a multinational force that includes leaders need to be aware of which organizations are supporting the force or operating in their area of operations. The collection of possible participants from other countries is too long to list. There are several thousand NGOs of many different types. Some NGOs maintain strict independence from governments and belligerents. An intergovernmental organization, or IGO, is an organization created by a formal agreement between two or more governments. Leaders should identify contractors operating in their AO and determine the nature of their contract, existing accountability. Use relationships with the host nation military to facilitate cooperation and trust with host nation. Understanding the operational environment is critical to the success of coin operations. Civil considerations put emphasis on the people, history, and HN government in the AO. A society can be defined as a population whose members are subject to the same political authority, who occupy a common territory, have a common culture, and share a sense of identity. Culture is a web of meaning shared by members of a particular society or group within a society. Understanding power is the key to manipulating the interests of groups within a society. There may be many civil considerations put emphasis on the people, history, and HN government of the AO. A group is two or more people regularly interacting on the basis of shared expectations of others' behavior and who have interrelated statuses and roles. A social structure includes a variety. Institutions are groups engaged in pattern activity to complete a common task. They are communicating organizations have the power to influence a population's perceptions. Religious networks are important aspects of a social structure, as well as structure within the insurgent. Language is a system of symbols that people use to communicate with one another. The interests refer to the core motivations that drive behavior. These include operations conducted without accurate intelligence may upset the populace and lead them to offer less information. Learning and adapting in coin is very difficult due to the complexity of the problems commanders must solve. Generally, there is not a single adversary that can be singularly classified. Leadership and ethics for counterinsurgency. There are leadership and ethical imperatives that are prominent and, in some cases, unique to counterinsurgency. Combat in counterinsurgency is frequently a small unit leader's fight. However, senior leaders' action, ethically speaking, coin environments can be much more complex than conventional ones. Counterinsurgents that use excessive force. As a leader of Marines, you have demonstrated the quality of thought and action captured with. Leaders must remember that in coin, the local populace, based on their cultural beliefs. In coin, small unit leaders must be inculcated with mature judgment. Coin forces aim to mobilize the goodwill of the people against. More than ever before, small unit leaders exercise initiative as leaders and fight. It is often better that a decision is made promptly rather than delaying for a potential. Develop your tact by trying to be courteous, firm, and enthusiastic at all times. Small unit leaders must maintain the moral high ground in their unit's deeds and words. Hunting an elusive enemy can be frustrating. Small unit leaders must maintain their enthusiasm. Elements engaged in coin efforts often look to the military for leadership. The greatest challenge. Avoid using your position or rank for personal gain, safety, or pleasure at the expense of others. Combat requires leaders to be prepared to take risk, especially at the tactical. Increase your knowledge by remaining alert. Listen, observe, and inquire about things you don't understand. Self-aware leaders work to solve problems rather than gossip about them. Never talk about seniors unfavorably in front of your. Develop endurance by engaging the unit in physical training that will strengthen both mind and body. The coin environment frequently and rapidly shifts from warfighting to policing and back again. The use of a discriminating proportionate force as a mindset goes beyond the adherence to the rules of engagement. Proportionality requires that the advantage gained by a military operation not be exceeded by the collateral harm. Discrimination requires combatants to differentiate between enemy combatants who represent a threat and non-combatants who do not. In this lesson, you have learned about aspects of insurgency and counterinsurgency. Congratulations, you have completed this lesson. Select the Close button, then use the course